basically what I got was a scolding because I don't know what I'm doing. So, it's not much I can tell you guys, but I can go over my witness list. I can't tell you guys anything else. So, one of my witnesses that will be coming is Terry King. Other one is Zesta Brooks. Another one is Eric Ship. Another one is Claudia Dominguez. Stephanie Espinoza, Fred Wolf, Kiara Andrews, Dan Highmiller, LaShonda Henry, Kenny Flowers, and Tony Jennings.
Are you done?
I would like to thank you guys all for being here. I know this is a pain in the ass.
I'm sorry, it's a pain what?
Pain in the ass.
No, we don't speak like that in court.
Okay. I've been called to two different juries, and I didn't like it either, so I just hope that you guys are comfortable, you know. And I'm not strict. They're strict. I'm not strict, you guys.
Okay. Anything else about your witnesses, sir?
That's it.
All right, thank you. Have a seat. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and call the roll of the panel of prospective jurors. When your name is called, please go ahead and answer, present or here, all right? Christina Stewart?
Here.
Kenya Jessamy?
Here.
Randall Hant?
Here.
Randy Dickinson?
Here.
Dina Liu?
Here.
Cecilia Jacques?
Here.
Larry Johnson?
Here.
Gary Burris?
Here.
Jeremy Failing?
Here.
Delia Velez?
Here.
John Barker?
Present.
Dean Blomgren?
Here.
Stephen Cole?
Here.
Arlene Tapacio?
Here.
Karen Gillard?
Here.
Chad Hayes?
Here.
Jackie Landy?
Here.
Yukachi Warji?
Here.
Amanda Hardesty?
Here.
Angela Pearson?
Here.
Fred Barker?
Present.
Joshua Cerrone?
Here.
Frederick Jensen?
Here.
Grant Nebeker?
Here.
Tabitha Williams?
Here.
Giselle Carmona?
Here.
Sean Armstrong?
Here.
Valeria Mendoza? Ryan Albertson?
Here.
Corey Hardin?
Here.
Vincent Mays?
Here.
Tammy Esposito?
Here.
Christine S. Galambre?
Here.
Jessica Brown?
Here.
Renee Poole?
Here.
Patricia Hagan?
Here.
Jeffrey Obershaw?
Here.
Maxine Rohan?
Here.
Jessica Narkonsky?
Here.
Lenithia Harris?
Here.
Jason Gordon?
Here.
Suzanne Hughes?
Here.
Maurice Titus?
Present.
Antoinette Aragon?
Here.
Adriana Guerrero Herrera?
Here.
Ariel Pantoja?
Here.
James Husels?
Here.
Irene Hernandez?
Here.
Harold Correa Arias?
Here.
Jermaine Colandrino?
Here.
Quinn Chi Vu?
Here.
Othello Bland?
Here.
Robert Tynes?
Here.
Robert Bell?
Here.
Joyce Walton?
Here.
Maria Guerrero Fierros?
Here.
Dominique Southern?
Here.
Timothy Perez?
Here.
Vance Byers?
Here.
Keone Quantico.
Here.
All right, the record reflects that all prospective jurors are present. Is there anyone whose name was not called that is present in this room? All right, so we're about to begin the actual jury selection process. This is part of the case where the parties and their lawyers have the opportunity to get to know a little bit about you in order to help them come to their own conclusions about your ability to be fair and impartial to both sides so that they can decide who they think would be the best jurors in this case. This process is actually done under oath, so will you please stand and raise your right hand so the clerk can administer the oath.
Everyone please stand, raise your right hand. You do solemnly swear that you will well and truly answer such questions that may be put to you, touching upon your qualifications as jurors in the case of issue, so help you God?
Yes.
Thank you. You may be seated.
Thank you. So I want to tell you a little bit about how this process will go. So first I'm going to ask some general questions while you're all seated here where you are in your current positions. These questions will be directed to everyone in the jury box, which is everybody to my right, as well as everyone who's out in the galley. After those general questions, the focus of the questions will actually turn on the individuals to my right. I refer to you guys as those in the into the jury box. Then after I'm done, the lawyers, Ms. Collins and then Mr. Davis will have an opportunity to ask some specific questions. The questions that you will be asked during this process are not intended to embarrass you or unnecessarily pry into your personal affairs. But it is important that the parties and their attorneys know enough about you to make this important decision about whether or not they feel you could be fair and impartial to their side or to both sides. There are no right or wrong answers to the questions that will be asked of you. The only thing I ask is that you answer the questions honestly and completely as you can. You will take an oath to answer, well, you just took an oath to answer all of the questions truthfully, and you must do so. Remaining silent when you have information about a question would actually be a violation of that oath. If a juror violates this oath, it not only may result in having to try this case all over again, but it may also result in having to need to impose penalties against that juror personally. So then it's just important to be honest and complete with your answers as possible. If you don't understand a question, please just ask me or one of the parties to repeat it, and I'll be happy to do so. Also, when certain questions are asked, they are sometimes of a very sensitive nature. For example, let's say one of the questions is, have you ever been the victim of a crime? Sometimes there are individuals who have been a victim of a crime, but they don't necessarily want to announce it in front of everybody because it is so sensitive, and that's completely fine. You just need to let me know that, and then I'll ask that you approach, and you don't have to do it in front of everybody. That happens all the time in my courtroom, and I'm happy to do it. I know it's hard to share information, and so I try to make this as easy as possible for you, okay? At some point during the process of selecting a jury, the attorney for both sides will have the right to ask that a particular person not serve as a juror. This is called a challenge. There are two types of challenges. The first is referred to as a challenge for cause. A challenge for cause is a request to excuse a juror because the juror might have a difficult time being fair and impartial. The second type of challenge is what's referred to as a peremptory challenge. A peremptory challenge means that a juror can be excused from duty without either of the parties having to give a reason for the excusal. In this case, each side will be given 9 peremptory challenges. Please do not be offended should one of the parties choose to excuse you. These are simply just a part of the process designed to assist the parties and their attorneys to select a fair and impartial jury. So once all the challenges are exercised, we will have 14 qualified jurors. 2 of those 14 will be designated as alternates, and then the 12 remaining jurors will deliberate in the case. I am now going to ask some questions of the entire group. If you wish to respond to a question, please raise your hand, and then when I get to you, please stand, no, you do not need to stand, but there is a badge number on your badge. If you would just give me the last 3 of that badge number and your name so we know on the record who is speaking. Also, is there anyone who has issues hearing me right now? Because we do have headsets that make everything a lot easier. So may we please get a headset? Marshall, Kelly, please. Anybody else? 2, 3, uh-oh. I think we only have 2, don't we? 2. Okay. All right, so let's do the first 2.
Volume on each side.
Ms. Tapas, if we ask one of the other departments, will it work with our system if we get a third one? Okay. Would someone mind emailing Ms. Jacobs and asking her to get us another headset from the other department? All right, I'm speaking up a little bit. How's that coming through the headsets? Good?
Much better.
All right. And ma'am, would you raise your hand next to, you raised your hand that you couldn't hear? Yes, what's your last name?
Hagen.
Hagen. I'm going to get you another headset, but until then, I'm just going to try to speak louder. Can you hear me okay right now?
Yes,
Okay, all right. I'll try to keep it up until we get that headset, okay?
thank you.
All right. And then if I'm speaking too loud, for those of you who have the headsets on, just turn me down. All right, we're good. Okay. So, first question is there anyone who has a disability or a medical issue that might impact their ability to serve as a juror in this case? A disability or medical issue. Marshall O'Kelly, could you please pass it into this first row right here? The gentleman in the red pants. Hi, sir.
Hello, yes, my name is Fred Parker, number 0394. I've been recently diagnosed with cancer, and I may be starting medical procedures.
Okay. And I'm sorry to hear that. When was the diagnosis?
Diagnosis was in May.
May. And then what about when do you believe treatment would be starting?
Tomorrow, Saturday, I have a colonoscopy, and afterwards I'm supposed to be scheduling my actual surgery. So I'm not sure how soon I can get my surgery, but as soon as possible after I have my colonoscopy on this Saturday.
Okay, understood. Thank you so much, sir.